if they do that, they're going to be very, 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 very tough to beat.
That's why Hunter's in right there. Oh, got to shoot a three.
Wilson. Oh, and we are tied.
What a game.
Let's go.
Call them five slammer down.
And I don't ever let them forget where we come from.
Getting those phones out. Record me acting ignorant, man.
Baylor empties it out. Big toss. It's going the other way. Second pick of the night. Jeremiah Wilson finishes this one.
The dream is alive for Houston.
Go Coogs! Let's go!
Welcome into another episode of Let's Rage Coogs, presented by the Saxenian Family. We're coming off the heels of a bounce-back victory for the Houston Cougars. Now the fifth-ranked Houston Cougars basketball team, 72-63 over Oklahoma State from the Fertitta Center. LJ Crier had another good scoring performance, 18 points, 6 of 15 shooting from the field, 3 rebounds. Milos Uzan bounced back in a big way with 17 points, 5 assists, 0 turnovers, 6 of 10 shooting from him from the field. Jawan Roberts, 14 points, 10 rebounds for the double-double. And Terrence Arsenault, an all-around game with 10 points, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds. Joining me on tonight's edition of Let's Rage Coogs, Dayon Dunlap, as always, and we're gonna bring in Fluff McIver.
What's up, my guys? How you doing?
What up, Fluff?
Great. How are you doing, Fluff?
Man, I'm doing great, man. We got a bounce back win, you know. Everything is good.
Yes, sir.
So, what are your guys' initial thoughts on the win? Short-handed Cougars, no Emmanuel Sharp, no Javier Francis, who obviously we've touched on how Emmanuel Sharp had been dealing with an ankle injury for several weeks now, and then kind of this was the time that Houston is trying to hopefully give him time to rest, and he's able to get to 100% now as they gear up for a tough stretch that they're going to begin in a few games. And of course, Javier Francis, who went down hard against Texas Tech. Suspicion of a concussion is what I saw Joseph Duarte of the Houston Chronicle tweet out earlier. But shorthanded Cougs got the job done. Wasn't always the prettiest, but what is most important is that they come away with a victory.
Well,
definitely.
For me,
Go ahead,
the biggest thing that Dayon said last, after the Texas Tech game was, we were talking big about Uzan. Uzan, am I saying it right?
It's Uzan, I believe.
Uzan. I'm gonna call him Moves. And we were talking about him being more aggressive, and he was that tonight. Even in the beginning, he missed some bunnies, but like he just kept like just being aggressive with the basketball. I think that was big in the first half. Us being down 18 to 9, and then also, Uzan scoring 8 of our first 12 points. That kind of kept us in the game. Arsenal was very aggressive in facilitating offensive rebounding and even scoring. I think in that first half, they did a lot of damage to keep us, within striking distance to get that lead back. So I think that was big time from those are 2 guys that I really Crier was Crier, Roberts was Roberts, you know what I'm saying? Like, but with the double-double, but I just feel like that those 2 guys kind of gave us a little push to, get back in the game, take the lead, and then, do what we did in the second half.
Yep, I saw the same thing. And starting with Milos, like you said, he was aggressive, and it was just getting shots up. Whether he, like I said last time, it didn't matter if he make it or not. Just be aggressive to get the ball up, and then you can see the tenaciousness of our offensive rebounding and how good of an offensive rebound he is, because him particularly was getting more aggressive, getting more shots. Because like you said, LJ was LJ. Harris had a great all-around game, but it started with him being aggressive to get inside the paint and look to finish instead of kind of preparing. And I was listening to the broadcast team. They actually talked about shoot-around, how Coach Sampson was hard on him. So I can only imagine after that game, he kind of saw some of the things probably that I saw or we saw from him could have been a little more aggressive. And he came out, really controlled the game well and played really good.
He got amazing size, man. I watched him I watched him tonight, like closely. I'm like, yo, wow, this kid is has a physique of an NBA guard. You know what I'm saying? And he if he would just be a little more aggressive, we'll be at a whole nother level. And I think tonight was a good, a good sign of that.
One of the things early, I'm curious to get your guys' thoughts on how Houston came out. Offensively, obviously, again, we can touch on the issues that they had even early on to fall in that 18-9 hole and down the stretch at the end of the second half. I believe there was over a 7-minute stretch that the Cougars had and the tail end of the second half where they did not score a field goal. And Houston kind of built.
I think we were just cold. I think we were
Hmm.
just. I mean, when I was watching it, I started laughing for a minute, like, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? I think we were
Mhm.
just. I think we started kind of playing like them a little bit, a little helter skelter. You know what I mean? And I think we were just off. But I almost we were losing, but like I liked it because it was like we were aggressive, man. We just things wasn't falling, like it wasn't falling, and I don't think it was like really a big
Yeah,
conspiracy on
it was
why. You
concern.
know what I mean? I
Right,
think we
right,
was
right.
just off. I think we were just off, bro.
Yeah, I said the same thing because it wasn't like it was a slow start. It was like they were playing hard. They were just missing good shots. It was like they just wasn't falling. So it was, but then when they kind of settled in, I think on the defensive end, it really started getting some offensive rebounds. I think
Yeah.
that was the difference early, yeah, because defensively. And Oklahoma State, give them some credit too. They came out ready. Last time we blew them
Mhm.
out at home, they came out ready to play. They coach,
Mhm.
I think he had them ready to play, and they came out and was making some of the shots and making their shots. And we,
Yeah.
like Plus said, we were just missing good shots.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
That's a great point about the offensive rebound stat. At halftime, Houston had 13 offensive rebounds.
Hmm.
Just going into halftime and for the game, they finished with 18 offensive rebounds. A lot of second chance opportunities that Houston had. And it's interestingly enough, I think in the first half there was a stat where Houston had 10 offensive rebounds, but they only had like two second chance points. So to your
Yeah.
guys' points, they just weren't able to convert, and they got that stretch. They were able to finish the first half on a little run. Obviously, start the second half with that momentum and build that lead that they were kind of able have that cushion and cruise towards the finish line. But it is interesting. It was kind of like it's a rhythm, for the lack of a better phrase. And in that end of first half, early second half, when they got rhythm, we saw them play the traditional how we're used to, right? The Houston Cougars style. They're getting stops on defense. They're swarming around. They're turning that into offensive points. And they again did just enough to be able to put Oklahoma State away in this one.
I
Milo
mean,
was a big difference though.
yeah.
Like Milo's was like this him right here. This we need him. This the one we
We need
need.
him.
Like we need him with Emmanuel coming back healthy and like complete. And him playing like he played tonight, we need that. He bring that with what we have at our full exposure. I think like we'll be
We cut
back.
the nets down.
We cut the nets down. I think he we just need that because it unlocks so much of our other weapons, and particularly our offensive rebounds. Like the tips that we was getting, Tugler can be a little bit more aggressive on the offensive glass, and Roberts, and just it can. It's just we look even more better as a
I think
rebounding team.
I
Like
watched him tonight, and he's pretty decent on defense. But I watched him tonight, and he was like playing more defense. He
yeah.
was like aggressive on this end, and it almost made him be more aggressive on the other end. And if he's shutting that with his size and length, if he's playing that madman defense on a point guard, we're in business. You know what I'm saying? So, and he had the 5 assists and no turnovers.
Hmm.
So that was huge. You know what I mean? And a wild helter skelter game like that. So
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I'm with you on that day, and I think if he's playing at that level, we could cut the nets down. All I think about is cutting the nets down, guys.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Me too.
That's a fact. We've been so close. I never forget, man. We had a when we played Michigan. I was
Hmm.
in Turkey playing. It was my last year. I was playing. They was playing Michigan, and we had went up, and I was talking to one of my teammates, Marshall Moses, who actually played at Oklahoma State, and I was saying to him like, "Yo, man, you see us, man. We back." And like I made a video of when Kirk Cousins is walking out the tunnel and he's like, "You
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
Mhm.
like that?" You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm making the video. I'm saying it. You like that? You like that? I'm about to post it and everything. And
Cool. His
Poole hit that shot, man. Yo, listen.
Oof.
Listen. I literally cried, bro. Like I was so hurt. You know what I mean? And it's
yeah.
like I'm thinking back to that year. Like what's that? 4 years ago.
Hmm.
Just about 4 years ago. Like we're at the level of we could really cut these nets down. I think that I'm kind of
Yeah.
glad that we had a little struggle game even after a loss. Now we showing some perseverance on. Like we might have 3 games like that in the tournament that we got to win by 2 points or 6 points or whatever. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So let's go ahead and get some practice now. I'm cool with that. I'm great with that.
Yeah.
And it's
So
the Big 12, so it's like it doesn't matter what a team record is, as far as oh, they're 1 in whatever they are, 3 in whatever they are in a conference. It doesn't matter, bro. Like Big 12, it doesn't matter what their record is. They come into play every night. So, hopefully, what I'm saying, we're ready to go.
that's a great point about the NCAA tournament. Just think about when Houston made it to the Final Four. They had that game in the second round against Rutgers that
Hmm.
Rutgers was really close to upsetting Houston, and shoot, they had to. That I'll never forget that game because they had to
Man.
execute down the stretch. And ooh, Quentin Grimes missing the free throw. They get the offensive rebound and get it
Yes.
back into his hands. He knocks down the three. And
Yeah.
you're absolutely right. There's games like that even last year when Houston got eliminated by Duke and Jamal Shead goes down. Like Houston
Yo,
had
Shad was balling tonight
chances.
too. I was watching both games at the same time.
Hmm.
Shad was on the floor tonight, fourth quarter, Knicks Raptors. I had both my TVs. I was watching the game and I was watching Shad with the Knicks. I mean with the Raptors. He was playing against the Knicks
Raptors.
tonight.
Listen.
Yeah, he got a lot of minutes tonight. He played pretty good.
One of the other players I want to touch on, and it's really impressive about what he continues to do, and that's Jawan Roberts, who, like I
Yeah.
said at the beginning of the show, another double double, 14 points, 10 rebounds on an efficient 6 of 10 shooting. This is a guy that rolled his ankle pretty bad on Saturday night against Texas
Got
Tech,
hit in the head tonight too.
and and being at the stadium, what they did after he rolled his ankle, um, John Houston literally they tightened up his shoes and he's spent about 3 minutes on the bench, went back in the game, and no sold it completely. And here he is, 3 days later, and he's able to put together that performance against, like you guys mentioned, Oklahoma State. They're not a small team; they have a lot of top players up and down the roster. It's impressive for a player that obviously is getting a lot of accolades this season, just in terms of accomplishments that he's getting, and obviously at this point, the most winningest player in Houston Cougars history. But a performance like that can't be underlooked because it is very impressive what he's doing. It has kind of become uh, an expectation for him just because he does it on such a consistent basis.
And he does it and it's natural. Like
Hmm.
it's
Hmm.
not like if you went I mean, I don't know him, but like I'm almost guaranteed if you go up to him after the game and go, yo man, you was on them boards, man. Like you double double. He'll probably look at you like, that's what I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that seems like that's his attitude. I'm excited to meet him. But it seems like that's his attitude. Like I'm gonna do that the next night, bro. Like I'm about to get something to eat, man. But that's what I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
But to see him on the offensive glass tonight, he looked like he looked like he was healthy. That's what it looked different
Yeah,
though.
that
Oh,
donkey got two in the was that first or the second half?
Yeah, first half.
Yeah, he got the
yeah, I'm
rebound,
like,
punched it. Yeah.
but it is what he do. I mean, but when he's playing at this level, because earlier in the season he wasn't playing at this level, but since conference play he been playing at this level, and we need that to. But it all keys down with when you got guards that can break down the defense. Now he can offensive rebound. There's been a lot of him playing with the ball in his hands and making the plays. But now,
See now, but
uh,
that might have answered our question that we talked about the other night
right,
when we was like, do we go to him here or do we go to him there?
right,
Not saying we don't go to him late,
right.
but like you saying, it seemed like when they get in the paint, because I think even when Arsenal, he got in the first time he got in the paint, try to body up, boom. You know what I'm saying? Here come Roberts. Man, trying to get, it's like he jumped. When he go get that ball, he going with two hands.
Go ahead.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? He might have both hands in the air, tip with one, try to grab with the other one. Then Arsenal went up again and missed it. They went up again. We end up not getting none. But like I'm like, oh, they active tonight.
like
Oh, they
active.
active tonight. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's gonna be good.
I think Terrence brings a little bit more of that too because of his length. Because he in there, like you said, he in
Yeah.
there, he on the board too, and he was effective all around. I think I heard a interview about, I think it had nothing to do with Terrence, but Terrence, I think he was a little more aggressive tonight. And I wanted to see that. I think knowing that he was going to start and playing extended minutes, I wanted to see him be a little bit more aggressive. And sometimes he's shown that, okay, I'm different. I'll be waiting on him to stand out and show if he's
No,
one of
he showed me some pro-ish things tonight.
right, right. That's what I'm
Yes,
talking
he
about.
did.
That's
He
what I'm
showed me,
talking about. Yeah.
like, listen, I play ball. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was almost like this all I've been telling y'all to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, he was
Yeah.
playing. You
And
know,
that's
like,
what I wanted to see, like that.
yeah.
Yeah. Because he one of the ones that you can give it to him, but and sometimes I don't know if he's natural. Like just let me give it to and let me get busy.
He could get to that 10.
Hmm.
He could get to that 10 very smoothly. He could get to that 10. Sure.
Yeah.
And one of the other things that's really underrated about Terrence is his ability to play make and create shots for others.
Yes.
But racking up 6 assists in this game, and again, one of the biggest things that he has going for him is that he has just the tool sets to be able to get an attack to the rim or at least pull up for the mid range. And a lot of times the defenses collapse on him, and he's able to create shots for his teammates.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the one he in the first half, it was like it was like a half of Iverson cross, left
Hmm.
to right, got in the lane, kicked it right to Cryer, bang. I said, oh, okay, that's good. You know what I'm saying? Because the play before that, he had got all the way to the 10. I think he got an and one. And then the next play, he shot it, he gave it to Cryer. But yeah, man,
One of the things that and I'm curious to get you guys' thoughts, when it talks about Terrence and his 3-point shooting. One of the things that I've noticed that a few teams have kind of done just in terms of how they guard Houston, when specifically when both Terrence and Malik Wilson are on the court. They're kind of giving up in terms of trying to get the ball out of Milo's, LJ, and obviously when Emmanuel Sharp is healthy, getting the ball out of their hands and trying to see if Terrence and Malik Wilson can kind of beat them from distance. And there's one area that we would nitpick today when it comes to Terrence. It was his outside shooting. Got a lot of good looks. Only 1 of 5 shooting from behind the arc.
definitely, definitely, definitely.
I think with
Um,
Terrence, oh, go ahead, son.
no, no, go ahead.
Yeah, I think so, but I think it's more or less because they're both explosive. Like off the dribble, they can get to the rack. And so if you like on the scouting report, I don't think it's to close out and run Terrence off the 3-point line. And you don't see that. I think you close out to force him to put it on the floor or whatever. But he had good looks that he missed. But I think as long as he's confident in shooting it in rhythm, I like the look as he getting. I think he could be a 30% 3-point shooter, even at even around there. But I think tonight, I think that's why defenses will guard him, especially Malik. Him and Malik. But I think he's a better shooter than Malik. But I think, like you said, to your question, I think they do guard him and Malik, especially like Malik. His first step, he's explosive off the
Yeah.
bounce. He can really get to the rack for sure.
Real quickly, I'd like to thank each and every single person that's taking the time out of their Tuesday night to join us live on this edition of Let's Rage Coogs. This is LRC presented by the Saxenian Family. A big thank you to Mr. Steve Saxenian for being the primary sponsor of today's episode of Let's Rage Coogs. Of course, we also like to say thank you to today's secondary sponsor, and that is Star Pizza. With 3 locations throughout the Houston area, Star Pizza is your go-to stop before or after the game. Be sure to check them out online at starpizza.net or on social media at starpizza.hou via X, and also Star Pizza Houston, Texas on Instagram. Check out their daily specials. Be sure to check them out on Tuesdays and Fridays during lunchtime for their all-you-can-eat pizza buffet. On that note, we'd like to welcome in Kris Gardner of the Houston Roundball Review. Kris, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. I am just Coach Sampson was on one post game, man. he got some things off his chest that had very little to do with the game, But one of the things that I was glad to hear was the Big 12 is going back to an 18-game conference schedule next season.
Oh wow,
Coach Sampson was. He described, as only he can, the travel and the wear and tear and the toll it's taken on the players, going from Morgantown here to Kansas. Everybody has to deal with it. He wasn't, saying that it was just a Houston problem, but playing Saturday, coming back, and then you got this coming Saturday going to Boulder on Friday, playing Colorado on Saturday, and then come back to Baylor on Monday. 20-game schedule. There are no bye weeks, so it's 2 games a week based on who you are in the conference. You're playing certain teams. You got to travel far, all that kind of stuff. So he made that point, and he said in it, because I was going to ask him about it, but he said, yes, their 18-game schedule is returning next season, which means they get a bye week, which teams, it helps the players. The well-being of the players as schools and administrators have, they preach, but their actions kind of don't back up their words. And he went on another tangent about the administrators. They talk about all these things. We know why you go to 20 games. We know why, but it's not good for the game. Very few administrators actually do things good for the game, for the good of the game. But we know why there's 20-game schedule. It's money. So he was on one post game tonight.
Really, man, I love that dude, man.
It was, man.
I love that dude, man. I for real, man. Listen. He can say what he wants, because the thing I like about that is, no matter how people feel about it, we got the best team.
Yeah.
So since we got the best team, and see, he's smart. We got the best team. So since we got the best team, let me tell you how I think it should go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm at the middle of the pack or bottom of the pack, I can't talk that way. But I think he's very smart of showing humility and understanding where his program and where we're at this time to speak on things that he agree or disagree with. I love it.
Yeah, and he's and I don't want to bogart. We'll get to the game, but about the game. Because of all the travel and all those things, he was just like, it's a win. Okay, people, we were without Emmanuel Sharp, we were without Xavier Francis. It was a win because of all the travel, because of they didn't practice yesterday. They shot free throws. That's all they're doing now, is because of the bodies, because of the wear and tear they're going through right now. They're just doing as little as possible. I even asked LJ and Juwan what they're doing to take care of their bodies. And they mentioned device, like I have to Google it because I don't know, to help them stretch or rehab.
These boys got it, man. These boys got it good now.
But yeah, that's what LJ said. He wasn't feeling, he wasn't complaining. He said, we do have the resources, so we at our disposal. We just have to use them more. But 4 years ago, there weren't 20-game conference schedules. So it is a difference for players today. But Coach is on one, but he accepts responsibility of being one of the deans of college basketball in general, but in the Big 12. So he's going to speak on things that are important to him. He's talked about the 20 games conference schedule since November, hell, October. So he's been campaigning with other coaches in the conference about this. And he finally said, he said publicly, because I didn't know about it, but he stated tonight that it's going back to an 18 game conference schedule. So that's a good thing, because I mean, bye weeks are important for people in media, because man, if you're traveling around, if you're the beat writer with a team and you're flying everywhere, you don't get a chance to rest. You know, you got family too, you got a life, hopefully. But if you don't have off days, stuff like that, you gotta, do stuff too, man. So it's gonna take some toll on everyone. So it's
Or if you ain't, but you gotta be, if you're independent like Houston Roundball Review, you can't really just do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying?
I can't. So yeah, I can't. Because they play every week. I haven't been to TSU as much as I used to go, or any other team in town, because I'm spending time with the Coogs, because that's the hottest team in town. They're the it team in town. So, but money wise, and of course, Coogs is my first priority, no question. But because of the Cougs and 20-game schedule, I spend less time on the Rockets now. So it takes a toll all over. But Brett Yormark and
Man, I love TSU,
administrators.
Hey, I used to love some TSU, Kris.
I'm not going to say anything. That's an off the record discussion there, Fluff. Let's not go into things like that. That's off the record. We want to burn Andy's young ears.
Okay. I'm saying for the food, they had some good food over there. They had good brisket.
That's true
brisket.
Too.
They had good brisket. They sell in Texas. They sell the brisket right outside on the street. So I'm saying they had good brisket over there.
That's a good spin, Fluff. Good spin. Right. That's good. Right. Well done. But as far as the game, the start of the game was not good. Obviously, we all saw that. They were sluggish. They missed Emmanuel Sharp. But Terrence Arsenault, 5 assists, career high 5 assists. Coach Sampson asked him about Terrence and his passing, and he said tonight, Terrence did a good job passing. Who knew? Coach is on one tonight, man. He was just on it. So when the Cougs posted on the YouTube channel, and I post some comments as well on Houston Roundball Review, enjoy. Just sit back and enjoy.
Yeah, I want to see that. If you get a chance, Kris, because just send it to me so I could just catch it.
Oh yeah, no question. But what has been the tone of discussion so far?
Well, we just was talking about, in the first half, Uzan, scoring our first 8 of our 12 points, and how he was struggling the last game was a good sign. Sometimes, we get signs of greatness of what we're going to do in the postseason and in the big games coming down the stretch, even in dogfights like this that we think we're not supposed to be in. So him scoring 8 of our first 12 points, Terrence being aggressive, doing what he was doing in the first half. Like I told the guys, if those two don't have those first halves that they have, we might have been in more trouble as far as the lead and as far as where we were at in the game. So I think that was good for, of course, the game tonight, but I think that was good for the future, knowing that those guys can be productive in times of need.
And going to, Dan has touched on it, but Coach Sampson said it in his Zoom call. Terrence is important to how far this team can go, because he is one of the most skilled players on the team, offensively, defensively. He's got to be consistent. He's got to be aggressive. He has to attack matchups, but he's a good passer. He's a good cutter. We saw all that tonight. I'm okay with Terrence posting up. I am not okay with Terrence taking 20-foot turnaround post-ups. Okay? You got an advantage with your size, your height. Back those little short dudes down, get 10, 12 feet and turn around. But don't get, you almost have 3-point line. He turned around, did a turnaround shot today. I was like, what the hell is that, man? That's settling against the defense. He's better than that. He's got to be, pass it out and then repost. But don't just settle. Come on, Terrence. You're better than that.
One of the other players that we haven't really talked about, who again had another good scoring night, is LJ Cryer. And yeah, Crabtree points it out too. He had another solid game. And obviously coming off the strong performance he had against Texas Tech, 18 points, 6 of 15 shooting, 3 rebounds for him as well. Did have 2 turnovers, but he hit that big shot late when Oklahoma had cut it to 6. And I mean, that was a tough shot. Oklahoma State,
Yep.
I felt like they defended that possession really well, and LJ just hit a tougher shot. Better offense beats good defense.
LJ's, he backs up what Fluff has said about number 4. I mean, he steps up when needed. He's a solid player. He had some good looks. A lot of the shots guys missed tonight were good looks. They just didn't fall. LJ had some threes rattle out. I like some of the ball movement. Oklahoma State is getting better. I like their big fella. Big fella with that hook shot. Abu Usman. That's a big dude. I mean, that's a big dude. But he did well. He had advantage over Sid Lott, experience-wise, clearly. But Sid didn't do a lot to hurt the team in the minutes he got for Houston tonight. So that's a plus. You got to take, the positive where you can with guys who hardly play.
Definitely.
And now Mercy Miller, you could see his defense is not there yet. So anybody
on the sidebar, what are you guys thoughts about Miller?
Bright future, brother. Bright future. But his defense is behind his offense. But it's gotten better now from November. It's improved. But his lateral quickness, he just doesn't react defensively just yet. He's thinking too much on defense. As a lot of young guys do, clearly.
I mean, it's an amazing thing. I mean, not amazing thing, but it's I think social media and all these things that are out. I think we there's so many emphasis on the highlights of offense and all that. I mean, just imagine if he comes in, and I know it's probably off topic, but I think the kid is very super talented.
Oh, cool.
But
Yeah.
imagine if he comes in and he's solid as hell like LJ and them on the defensive end, you almost gotta play him. So, I was just wondering what you guys, that's how I feel about him. You know what I'm saying? But I was trying to confirm. Sometimes he misses assignments or like he doesn't know, like helping the helper.
Mm-hmm.
Like I watched it one time, one play, like where it wasn't really his rotation, and he didn't know that they end up missing on the closeout, but he didn't know that he was the next. I could tell he didn't know that he had the next rotation. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's like little things like that. You know what I mean? But that might be a diamond in the rough that we might need later. I don't know why, but I've watched him.
Yeah,
I see him periodically have good moments this year, and I'm just like, you just never know when we might need that kid. So hopefully they're keeping him in good spirits about everything that's going on. It seems like a great kid.
Yeah, I think he got a lot of potential. Yeah, we talked about him a lot. We ball big on him. We high on him.
And the thing that's really important for the Houston program is that his Mercy himself, but his family too, is bought in. His father, Master P. He trusts the vision that Kelvin Sampson and the program have.
I've been wondering about that too. Like, is he like, yo, man, you know how it could go.
No, he's not. We gotta Dan. Send it to Fluff. What you send us today?
I'm gonna send it to him right now.
But P is not like that at all. He's not one of those parents. Why isn't my child playing? My child was a 3-4 star. Blah blah blah. He should be playing more minutes. P has said, Master P has said that Coach Sampson is old school coach.
Yeah, he just said in the interview. I just sent it to you, Fluff. He just said that
he wants Mercy to earn it.
He wants Mercy to earn it. He said he know Mercy averaged 30 in high school, and he know he got offensive talent. He said Mercy just came to him was like, nah, Dad, I got to get better. But he said Mercy earned everything. He said he didn't buy him a car in high school until he got to college.
Yeah,
he was just talking about he brought him to Sampson because he knew Sampson what he gonna give them was gonna make him earn everything. And he said Mercy is to the point to where when I can earn it on being on the court, I'll be ready.
Yeah.
And so once you watch it, you'll see, Flo.
Well, I like that type of vibe, man.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, me too.
And
Yeah.
because
that's
that means that if you out there, everybody know you supposed to be out there.
yep,
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yep.
I'm saying, many of your teammates, they watch you go
right.
get it. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
And Penders was like that in a lot of ways. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys that people thought should have played sometimes didn't play. You know, because they just didn't earn it to him. And a lot of people sleep on, Penders and Sampson are from the same place.
Yep.
If you got Oklahoma and Texas, they both. It's so crazy. We'll talk about that off air, Chris. But that connection is big time.
Yep. It's a big text code. Yeah, we know Mercy can't play. He doesn't play defense. He can play defense. He doesn't play defense. He's learning how to play Cougar defense, and that's different. Coach Sampson defense is unlike almost anybody else in college basketball. Let's be clear on that. So he
Mm-hmm.
has expectation, but Mercy understands that, and that's what we're saying, and that's what I like to hear about the 5-star kids that signed with the Cougs. Is all those kids want to be coached hard. They want to be made better and being better players. Here, you have to play defense. You have to rebound. You have to earn your minutes. There's some programs, oh, well, that's a 5-star. Let him play. Doesn't deserve it, but he got the 5-star, and there's some reason politics are involved in some of the 5 stars. Fluff can talk about that too. But
Yeah,
you have to earn your time here. And that's one thing I really respect about Coach Sampson and the staff. You earn what you get here.
big time.
Chris, what were your takeaways about JoJo Tugler and the performance that he had in this game against Oklahoma State? Got into foul trouble again early. Was able to clean that up as the game progressed. What you see from Tugler in his minutes?
He took himself out of the game in the first half because of the fouls. His left hand hook shot needs work.
Who was at the press conference with Coach Sampson? Chris?
LJ and Juan. But it almost didn't matter because coach, like I said, coach was on one.
Oh,
The whole
okay.
thing may have been 15 minutes. Coach talked 14 minutes. I mean,
Jeez.
it got to a point. Y'all know who was looking at us. Ask a question for LJ. Ask a question for Juan. So I tried to do a combo and ask both of them about how do they, take care of their bodies with this 20-game schedule. So I got both of them to kind of answer. But coach took up the majority of the time because he had a point to make tonight, clearly. But JoJo, he did a better job rebounding. He's inconsistent around the rim offensively, but 9 boards is good. He's got, I think, 2 of his 3 fouls on offense. And Fluff, I would like to get your thoughts on this. When you're involved in pick and roll, what did you rather want your big to wait, to set the screen, to be still, or to be in a kind of like time it where it's not an offensive foul on the big man setting the pick?
Well, for me, for me personally, as a player, personally, my preference is I wanna dance and bully first, if that makes sense. I wanna
Yeah.
dance a little bit and then I wanna bully. And then once I dance and then I bully, I'm backing you. We actually was working on that today in the gym. That's so crazy. But I actually wanna get you in a position almost near the 3-point line under, so that when the big is, I don't want him to come and run and set it, but I
Mhm.
want him to come and be in an area where we're meeting each other at the same time. But I already danced and bullied him into the position to run into the pick.
Yeah.
So I don't like standstill picks. To answer your
Okay.
question, no. Only way I like those is if you're setting it flat, like if you're setting it and you're standing in this position to where the defender is coming like that. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I mean,
Yep.
where the point guard is coming this way or this way. But as far as if they're on the side like that, nah, I don't like that because I don't know what I want to do. I might refuse it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like I like for the guard to kind of have the leeway on where he wants to take the defensive player because most defenders are going to try to fight and grab and whatever. And that's when they run into that pick and the hedge is coming, the guy that rolls is always open. And sometimes when the weak side goes and gets the roller, that weak side perimeter player in the corner or half, between the wing and the corner is open. You know what I mean? Or sometimes, you see Roberts do it. Sometimes he's rolling the pass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like that pick is essential on like on the vibe of it. So standing still is kind of, it depends. You know what I mean? It depends if it's a decoy. Sometimes, because if you watch it, sometimes we run pick and rolls not to get in the paint. We might be running a pick and roll to go set. It might be an away screen. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
so like it all depends. Like if it's like, to answer your question even more thoroughly, like if it's to go and score, I like dancing a bully, getting him in position, and then running into the screen. But sometimes the screen is just a decoy for it to be maybe a stagger on the other side, or a pin down on the other side, or a cut. So it all depends on what's going on. You know what I mean? As far as in the game.
Yep. And this point by E.I. Crabtree is it's life in the Big 12. But after at Colorado on Saturday, Cougs have Baylor on Monday, Big Monday, at Arizona on Saturday, at Arizona State on the 18th, then home for Iowa State, and then at Texas Tech.
Yeah, jeez.
Yeah.
It's getting us ready though, guys.
Yeah.
Fellow Cubes.
It's
It's
life in the
getting
Big
us
12. We ready.
ready.
Yeah.
It's
Life
getting
in the
us
Big 12.
ready.
And I think this is a good 2-game stretch to let Emmanuel get more healthy. That way, when you get ready for Baylor and Arizona, Emmanuel is lacing them up.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Hopefully. I mean, yeah, he was in the
Also,
boot. He seemed to be better.
yeah,
He was in
rest
good
is
spirits,
good
obviously.
game.
Apparently, I won't get into it about JVA, but he wasn't ready to go today. So, and that's okay. It gave Said some time. You can see the difference in JVA and Said in terms of production and experience. But it was a solid, methodical win for the Cougs. It wasn't pretty. We're at the point of the season now.
We
I don't
just
care if
need
it's
them.
pretty. Yeah, I don't care if it's pretty.
Yeah,
Okay,
stat points don't matter.
just get the
We could
dub.
win by the quarter of a point, Chris.
Yeah, just win.
You know what I
That's
mean?
it. Just win. Doesn't matter to me. And I've said it, and I hope it happens. If it happens this way, because it'll still count as a chip. I don't care if it's 6 1-point wins in the tournament, because you know what that 6 wins means. I am me, Fluff, Dayon, Andy on that court in San Antonio, or run around crying, hugging people, celebrating, making
Man, I
confetti
think we're
angels,
gonna
whatever.
do it this year, man. Goodness gracious. Yo, it's so funny that I was just talking to them about that before you got on here.
See?
Mhm.
Like, man, I remember, like I was just telling them about when Poole hit that shot.
Yep. Oh man. And
What was that? The 16 or the 8? What was that? 16?
that
That
was
was in 2018, right?
No, no,
no, no,
no, no,
no.
no.
That
No, I'm
was
talking
the
Well,
about
or
round.
the
That was the round of 32 to go to 16.
yeah, that was
I think that's it.
second
Yeah.
round. Yep, that was the second round because the following year they made it to Sweet
it
16,
felt like the
but
16,
took
bro. It
Yeah.
felt like oh
Because if
man.
they'd have won that game, it was lining up for them to get to the Final Four. It was lining up. Yeah.
Maybe that's why I'm thinking like that.
Yeah.
It was a walk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, I think that I really think that we're 8 to 10 players strong though, man. Like
Yep.
that's hard to beat when there's all cylinders are rolling. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm so excited. I mean, of course I was excited last year, but man, I just think that, and I think college basketball is wide open this year. It's not like a clear
hmm
cut. There's
yeah,
nobody that's like, yo, can't nobody beat them. Like it's nobody
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. I
You know
mean,
what I mean? Like
as good as Auburn is,
they can be beat
they can be
easy.
beaten. Yep. They can be
and
beaten.
Houston almost beat them
Yeah.
Exactly.
when they played earlier.
When they weren't
Chris,
at their best. Yeah. Go ahead. But Andy. Yes, sir.
just gonna follow up about JV. Wait, has it officially been determined? Like, is it a head? Is it a head injury that he's dealing with?
It's a head injury. Yeah.
Okay.
It's I mean, like I said, I'm not going to get into, I'm not John Houston or or anything. I'm not, HIPAA violations, whatever kind of stuff. But I'm pretty certain that he's gone through concussion protocol, and he's been woozy and he didn't feel up to it today to play. Just leave it at that.
Gotcha. Real quickly, like to once again thank today's sponsors on this edition of Let's Rage Coogs, beginning with the Saxenian Family. Big thank you to Mr. Steve Saxenian for being a primary sponsor of not only tonight's episode of Let's Rage Coogs, but each and every single post-game show for the men's basketball season. Of course, I also like to say thank you to today's secondary sponsor, in Star Pizza, with 3 locations throughout the Houston area. Star Pizza is your go-to stop before or after the game. Be sure to check them out online at starpizza.net and on social media at StarPizza HOU on X and Star Pizza Houston, Texas on Instagram for their daily specials. And be sure to stop by any one of their locations on Tuesdays and Fridays during lunch for their all-you-can-eat pizza buffet. And, of course, big thank you to every person who's taking the time out of their Tuesday night to join us on this edition of Let's Rage Cougs. Kris, we talked about it before you hopped on, but obviously Jawan Roberts, the double-double that he had, very impressive what he's been able to do on a consistent basis, and much more impressive when you think about just 3 days ago, the bad turn ankle that he had, and he suffered against Texas Tech. He's no-sold it since then.
And I mean, he didn't really show any ill effects of the ankle he rolled over that touched the floor against Texas Tech. He didn't start today's game well, up to Kelvin Sampson standards. He had a blow by on defense, and Coach Sampson let him know about it.
The left jab.
The
dude hit him with the left jab. He hit him with the left jab and went to the basket. I think, don't tell Sampson that I said this, Kris. I think it was a good move. But,
Juan has had to reset himself. He came back in and played better, and that's part of him being the leader of this team, and he accepted the challenge of that. So I'm kind of be like Coach Sampson now with today's game. It's a win. All right, we can overanalyze all this, that, and other, and nitpick about this, that, and they got the dub. Oklahoma State shot the ball well to start the game, and then it came back down to reality, but they still ended the game shooting 51%.
Mm-hmm.
And the Cougs still won. I mean, Oklahoma State, before their last, I think, 2 threes, they made 7 straight shots to get back in the game. Their pressure defense kind of bothered the Cougs for a bit. Then LJ, as Andy said, hit a tough shot in the paint to beat the shot clock, seal the victory, move on. They have a day off tomorrow. Cougs are off on Wednesday. Can use that, truly. And then they'll fly to a Boulder on Friday and get ready to play Colorado on Saturday. Was that 3 o'clock? I think 3 o'clock Saturday?
Yep, 3 p.m. Central Time.
And that's on ESPN Plus, isn't it? Yeah, so that'd be the last ESPN Plus game right there for the Cougs this season. And Ronald, I'm assuming he's talking about Mercy Miller.
Mm-hmm.
We touched on it a few minutes ago. Mercy's defense is not good enough. In a nutshell, it's not. And as explosive potentially Mercy is offensively, he's not making shots. The shots he does get, his percentage is not very high, but his potential is high. Just be patient with him, folks. Don't worry about it. Malik Wilson, defense set a tone again. So steals, Malik, he's becoming just a rock solid contributor to this club, man. He's important.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. X factor.
And that's so Malik.
And it seems like you could plug him.
Yeah. Malik and Terrence, they produce. You can rely on them consistently. It's just more tools in the bag for Coach Sampson to utilize. As Fluff said, 8 to 10 deep. This team is deep when they're healthy.
Yeah.
Just get healthy. So every Coug fan watching us right now, I try to say it every show. Knock on that wood or whatever you got as your lucky whatever. Cougs get healthy, be healthy come tournament time, and then we'll see how far they can go.
Kris, it's funny that you said that the Cougars spent most of yesterday's practice shooting free throws, and they shot it really well from the free throw line. They only missed 2, 12 for 14, 85%, including 3 or 4 from JoJo Tugler. So,
yep.
can see it in the stat line. That's pretty much gonna do it for today's episode of Let's Rage Cougs. I'll toss it around, go around the virtual roundtable to close out final thoughts. Once again, I'd like to thank each and every single person that took the time out of their Tuesday night to join us here. And of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't plug in the email. Be sure to reach out if you are interested in being a potential sponsor in any future episodes of Let's Rage Cougs. You can do so by reaching out at the email that you see on the screen, letsragecougs@gmail.com, all lowercase. We're trying to plan ahead, put together hopefully different packages for the Big 12 and NCAA tournament post-game shows come March. It is right around the corner. And of course, we're still in the home stretch when it comes to the regular season. Big thank you to Mr. Steve Saxenian again and Star Pizza for being sponsors on this edition of Let's Rage Cougs. We'll be back on Saturday afternoon/evening, probably around 5:30-ish, assuming there's no leg game overtime like we had a week ago. Probably
No,
about
Andy,
a 5:30 show.
Oh,
no.
yeah, don't be be quiet.
Andy,
Don't even say that. Yeah, don't put it in the universe. It's
Nah, we ain't doing that.
5:15. 5:15. Be ready at 5:15.
That's
So
it.
that's when we will see you guys Saturday evening, and toss it over whoever wants to take it next. Kris, Fluff,
Yeah,
whoever wants to
I'll
take
go first. I'll go first because we let Deion close it out and have the superstar, go after me. So always, Fluff is adding a lot to the show. We've heard a lot of
it.
positive compliments and about Fluff being a guest on the show. Fluff, if you know anybody who wants to who got some deep pockets, want to support Let's Rage Cougs, have them email Andy, letsragecougs@gmail.com.
Yes,
But
sir.
everyone, thank you for your continued support of LRC, of Let's Rage Cougs, of me, Andy, Dayon, because we are the original post-game show for Houston football and men's basketball. So continue supporting us. Cougs helping Cougs is genuine. We all believe it. We say it. We try to speak it into existence. But Cougs helping Cougs is a real thing. It's a dub tonight for the Cougs. Don't care about how I look, pretty, ugly, whatever. It's a W. On to the next one. But it's always the Houston Roundbar Review. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to Pulse and Majama. Help us continue growing. And I said I'm proud to be around, as Deion mentioned it, 30 years since 1994.
Amazing.
The Houston Roundball Review, local name, global perspective.
For me, man, I just want to say, man, you guys have been an amazing asset to my life in this, small little time. I'm a very busy guy. I run a business of Elm City Elite. I'm training Robert McKeever Jr. to, do some things maybe even bigger than me. So, I got a couple other businesses I have. And for me to feel like on a daily basis, not a daily basis, but whenever we say, we're going to do the show, for me to feel like, I was in the gym tonight, like, come on, man, yo, listen, make 10 more. 10 more, I got to get back. You know what I'm saying? I got to watch the game. You know what I mean? So, like, for me to feel like that, reconfirms how much I love my school and how much I love being alumni and the appreciation of not what I did on the floor, not what I did on the floor. Thanks, man. Love you too, man. Is that Russ? I think that's my guy. Um, not about what I did on the floor, but about just being one of the guys and being on the podcast has given me that feeling again of just being one of the guys. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not on here, you know, to talk about what I did or what we're talking about the Cougs now, and we're talking about the future of the program and where the program is going in the future, and to be one of the guys, one of the former alumni, to be on here doing that is an amazing feeling, and it's been a real help to me, and I appreciate it.
Well said, man. We definitely appreciate having you. But like Chris and Andy said,
Yeah.
make sure you guys, if you know anybody who's looking to invest, Coogs, helping Coogs, we're all Coogs, like Love just alluded to. We want to continue what we this was just an idea. Started with an idea. And we've been going strong now. We're gonna continue to go strong and grow. And tough fought win. I think a lot of lessons learned. I hope Milos can continue on playing like he played tonight. And
Milos, we need
yes,
15 and 6 every game.
every night, Los.
And
We
we need,
need it.
hey Milos, if you see this, this is the OG Cool. If you can get 15 and 6, that'll be an amazing for us.
Well said.
Send
I
the
second
message.
that. And can't end
And we'll
anything
take
without saying
one
go Coogs.
turnover.
Oh, what?
We'll take one turnover, Ooze,
Go Coogs.
all day.